Hello everyone. Before I get started with this video, I want everyone to know that I'm not going to be monetizing this video. I have my reasons, and quite frankly I don't feel the need to cash in on someone else's unfortunate mishappenings in their life, so to speak. And I just think it'd be immensely inappropriate. I want my message to get out there. I want my insight to get out there, and I want it to be known on many fronts. And I think everything that has transpired this last week is completely ridiculous, and the human behavior that I have seen displayed is complete nonsense. I just wanted to get that out there. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So let's continue on with it, because my video is going to contain a lot of stuff. And I'm going to start it out like this. The first segment of this video is going to be my personal tribute to Cristopher Hitchens. I wanted to share how wonderful this man was from my perspective. I'm Cristopher Hitchens. I don't have any Johnny Walker Black for this occasion. I wish I did, but I wanted to make this segment of the video nonetheless. I really enjoyed your debates that I have seen online. I've read some of your works online, and one of the things that I enjoyed the most about you is how you systematically ripped apart your opponents in debate with truth and reason. Yet what got me the most is a lot of them thought that you were the bad guy for bringing truth and reason to the table. And that's what upset me the most about it. They had no knowledge how wonderful you were. They had no knowledge how genuine you were. They had no knowledge of the truth that you spoke on a daily basis. And I really enjoyed when you stood out there on the front lines and taught everyone that they can stand up for what is right in this country. And what you did in your life meant a lot to a lot of people. Now, I found this video online. It was dedicated to Cristopher Hitchens. It was a song made by a band, which I enjoyed quite well. It's on my list on my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I will leave a link to the video in my description. And it's actually a good song. I really enjoy it. Every time I get home from work, I find myself listening to it a couple of times over and over again, because it's an awesome song and an awesome video made by an awesome band. And Cristopher Hitchens was one of those people that really mesmerized me in so many ways. I try and use some of the things he spoke about and some of the things he taught in my own life. I try to apply them, you know. And in many instances it has worked. And every time I listen to some of the things he's said, it really gives me the motivation to continue with what I'm doing and to not hold back. And I really enjoy that. It was an honor and a privilege, Mr. Hitchens, to listen to your work and to view your videos on debate and everything else that you stood for. And I know a lot of people made fun of you and called you this horrible, terrible person. I just let them run their mouths because I know that everything that they speak of isn't the truth. And that that's something that they have to deal with whether they like it or not. And coming from me, you are one of the most interesting, intelligent men that I have ever heard of. And what you stood up for, I admire. I had first learned of you through some friends I had met online who were fellow atheists. And I got interested in your work. So I started reading your stuff, like I said earlier. Started watching your videos. And I was pulled into it, so to speak. And you had a lot of in-depth things you were talking about, and it really aroused my interest in an awesome way, I wanted to find everything about you online, all your work, everything, And I found a lot. And I have to say that it was awesome, I could gain a lot of knowledge from what you've said and done. You're one of a kind, Hitch. You can never be replaced. There's an old saying, and it goes a little something like this. Originality can be imitated, but never duplicated. Nobody can duplicate you. You have some pretty big shoes. And to be quite honest, I don't think anybody can fill them. And I look up to you in so many ways. I wish I could have met you, Cristopher Hitchens. I really wish I could have. I would have enjoyed a sit down with you and had a very pleasant conversation. I think that would have been awesome. With that said, again, thank you for everything that you have done. And you would be pleased to know that all of us are here fighting for what you stood for. And you have been an inspiration to all of us. Thank you, Cristopher Hitchens. And I hope you're kicking ass. With that said, you have one admirer amongst many, and his name is the Quiet Atheist. Now, I realize I'm a little late to the party with this subject, but I wanted to offer my perspective on things nonetheless. And I jotted some notes down because I'm terrible at fucking remembering things, but that way I could stay on topic and try not to stray away from everything, so bear with me, guys, if you will. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was the Connecticut shootings, and gun control. It was a terrible thing that happened to these kids. Something like this should never happen to anyone, especially kids. Kids who have their lives ahead of them, had a chance to get married, go to the prom, have their own kids, and they had all of this taken away from them by an idiot, nonetheless. And one of the things that I've been seeing online a lot, and it's really annoying the fuck out of me, to be honest with you, and it's the whole issue with gun control. And I've seen a lot of people talk a lot of shit, saying that, let's ban all guns, let's fucking put guns in everybody's hands. Well, if the principal had a gun, none of this shit would have happened, and this and that and this and that. Well, let's talk about the banning part first, because this is the part that really gets on my fucking nerves. I've heard a lot of people say, if you ban guns, there won't be a lot of killing and stuff like that, you know. Look at it this way. You ban guns, it's only going to increase in the black market. It's going to make things worse. It's going to create this atmosphere where no one is going to feel safe. And banning guns is going to be a terrible devourer of the human morale. People are not going to feel safe in their own homes, you know. And I think safety is the number one issue. Now, me personally, I will not have a gun in my house. Why? Well, I'm about to share that with you right now. I have a son with issues, and I prefer to stop the issues dead in their tracks by not bringing a gun into my house. Now, I do have guns. I operate with them at my job, because that's what my job requires. But I don't bring any of that home. You ban guns, it's only going to make it worse. People are going to go to the black market regardless. There's going to be guns everywhere still. And there'll be even more killings. And that's why I think banning guns is a horrible idea. Make the laws a little bit stiffer. Do not give guns to the mentally ill. And that's another thing. Everybody's having this debate about gun control and shit, you know, and guns and whatever the case might be. But what nobody is failing to talk about is the problem before it starts. No one is identifying the person with the fucking problem. They don't think about the person with the fucking problem until after they commit the crime. They identify the problem early, before they even pick up a gun. Now, I know this guy's probably shot his mouth off about killing people or shooting up a fucking school or something, you know. But the problem with that is nobody paid attention to him. Nobody took him seriously until it actually happened. And then everybody's all, oh my goodness, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. You know, ban guns here, gun control this, gun control that. But no one talks about the issues with the person involved. Learn to catch it at the beginning. That's exactly, like I said earlier, that's exactly why I will not have a gun in my house. Because I have a son with problems. And I know that that will have disastrous results. Identify the problem early. Because that is something that is worth talking about. Instead of debating about guns and this and that and whatever the case might be. And that's another thing too, man. One of the comments I've heard about a lot are, well, you should put a gun in the principal's hand. Well, sure, invite more bloodshed to create more bloodshed. Two wrongs don't make a right, man. Well, like I said, identify the problem early before it gets worse. Actually pay attention to the people and what they have to say, is what I always say. Take everything that they say very seriously. And in my line of work, I have learned to do that many times. Because people die if I don't. And that's just the way it is. And that is my thought on the subject. And like I said, I feel that it should be identified early. Talk about the person and the problem that they have, instead of talking about guns. Talk about the person. Pay attention to what they say. Identify what they say. Try and get them help. That's what I'd say. You know. But, you know, that's just me. Ooh, and while I'm on a roll here, I want to talk about something else too. The media. Now, they do a lot of fucked up shit, man. Now, I tell you right now, they do a lot of shit. And what they don't realize is every story that they do about these things is completely off the charts with its ridiculousness. They portray these people as, what do you call it, celebrities, so to speak, in a way. And to me, that's a problem. To me, that has kind of like a negative influence on people and other kids. It makes them think, well, I want to be a celebrity. I want people to remember me. So I'm going to go shoot up a school. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. So I can be popular. They're going to think it's okay to do these things. And that's the mistake I think the media makes a lot of the times. And another thing that I fucking hated about this situation is when they would sit there and interview these poor kids about the shootings that took place. I mean, what kind of fucking common sense is that? Really? Really? I mean, what kind of sense is that? What kind of thoughts would possess a human being to talk to little kids who are completely frightened out of their mind, by the way, and ask them questions about the shooting? Or what did they hear? How did they feel? Leave the kids alone. They're frightened out of their minds. Leave them alone. They don't need anybody poking microphones in their face and pointing video cameras at them and asking them questions. That shit does not make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. It really don't. You know? And that's just my whole thought on that subject. You know, the media, all they do this shit for is fucking ratings. And that's exactly how Fox News acts. You know? They do this crooked shit all the time. And it really does need to stop. This video is going to be about 3 of the most despicable people I've ever heard of. To be quite honest, they are very disgusting. They go by the names of Hovind, Huckabee, and Fischer, I believe. And what they're doing now is they're stooping to a new low. They're using the unfortunate demise of young children in the Connecticut shooting to promote their religious agenda. To me, that is disgusting. To me, that is immoral. And that should have never been put on the table. But do you think these guys would have a lot of sense? No, they don't have any sense. So I tell you what, I want you three to do me a favor. I've got a proposal for you. And it goes a little something like this. Why don't you let me take you up to the moon? Okay? And by moon I mean our moon. Let me drop you guys off there without any astronaut gear, without any type of breathing apparatus. And you guys can pray for air. The condition is you got to let me know how that turns out for you. Let me know. Really let me know, because I'm curious. I am sick and tired of people like you three making these claims that are completely groundless, by the way, and make no sense. I see it all the time online. I see a lot of people making these statements. They're cruel, they're inconsiderate, and you really need to take a look at yourselves. And I mean that by looking in the mirror and actually looking at yourself and analyze what you are saying. Because to me, there's no logical solution to statements that you are making. There's no mature solution. And you guys are acting like a bunch of spoiled fucking brats. And you guys want to promote your religious agenda by, like I said, exploiting the unfortunate demise of children. Don't you think that's a little bit ridiculous? I mean, come on now. A God allowing the death of innocent children simply because he wasn't allowed in schools? I mean, really? Are you really that fucking stupid? That doesn't make any fucking sense. It will never make any fucking sense. And I'm sorry that you are that fucking ignorant. And I'm sorry that you have to spew the diarrhea out of your fucking cockholes. I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense. And furthermore, what I don't get is the fact that you guys do this on a daily basis, and there's many people like you. You guys don't care how other people feel. You don't care what other people have to say. And by the way, Eric Hovind, how was that little ass kicking that you received by a 6-year-old? Oh, I saw the video. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the link to that video will also be posted in the description. You guys don't pay attention to anything, and you never will. You're just, like I said, interested in promoting your own agenda and trying to win over people through trickery and dishonesty. That is pathetic. And I'm sorry to say it, but it is. You know, I've met a lot of people in my day, and a lot of people anger me, so to speak. And you guys just infuriate me, man, with this nonsense that you talk about. You can't even say something nice. You have to right away involve religion and God, so to speak. And without even thinking about it, that's what fucking bothers me. These parents of these children are hurting inside. They need the support that they need. And for you guys to assert that God allowed these children to die because there was no religion allowed in schools is completely fucking heartless. You guys don't consider other people's feelings, like I said. And that goes for any of you religious people that think the same fucking way. It just doesn't make any sense. And you know, I could go on and on and on and on, and I'm pretty sure none of you guys will ever listen to me anyway. But I will say this. You guys got about as much brains as a fucking one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. Whatever you're doing now, a large part of the community doesn't like. You guys are the ones without the morals. You guys are the ones that don't make any sense whatsoever. You guys are the monsters that you accuse us of being. When in fact, we are nothing like you, and we will never be like you. And that's all I have to say to you three. I hope you guys live with yourselves. I know you don't think about the comments that you make. I know you probably care less about what other people think. And to me that's wrong. And that should be identified. But like I said, you guys can continue to go on with your lives believing the crap that you believe. You're free to do that. But it doesn't make it any true, though. I just wanted to point that out. I hope you guys really smart, though, because it's getting pathetic. With that said, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. For those of you who haven't already, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, all the links that I want to share will be provided in the description box down below. And I hope you all have a good day. This is the Quiet Atheist saying, if you can't be good at it.